What's up, everybody? Victor here with Bluefoot Boosting, where we turn your uptime into downtime. I got that backwards. That's perfect for this video, actually. We're going to use the error in my favor to segue into what this topic is. I decided to do a short on here, and of course, a short performed better than anything by miles. They're also short, so I get it. I should probably do more of those. But excuses we make for ourselves. This honestly wasn't my original plan, but it's what I was feeling today. The other thing I was feeling today is let me record something versus not. Because I didn't record what I intended to last week. I wanted to have a rant video already ready. I'll probably have this up within the next day or two of me putting this up, if not the same night, because I fell behind on my own schedule. It happens a lot. And when you tell yourself enough times, I'll do it later, it just doesn't happen. And then you start the excuse path. But there's a lot of them. So where do I start, right? For me, personally, to answer the question, and I put this up as a discussion in the short. If anyone happens to find this and want to have that same conversation, except at this point you'll hear a bunch from me before weighing in on anything. Just to get an idea, right? I'm not mad per se of where I'm at, but I do wish I was further along in life. Long story short, I don't have as much put away as I'd like at this age. I'm in the equivalent of call center hell. That's pretty much the majority of my work experience in South Florida. I don't have any special degrees or anything like that, although I do personally think college is a scam, so I don't feel as bad about that one. It's just the opportunities that have been offered have been mostly within, call center hell. And while it comes with a bigger paycheck, it's not much different than retail hell, for those who know about that. I don't speak from personal experience, but that's what my partner does, so I know about that side of things. So there's that, right? I would like to have done more things creatively. I took years off from 2 other things that I did before this. And I know there have been creative adventures that I am proud of. Past projects, and including but not limited to meeting my favorite band. So there are things that can happen if you put in the time/effort with creative stuff. It's just a lot of it hasn't landed the way I'd like, so I get detached from it and decide not to really bother. I made that excuse for so long, it basically became an extension of my life. I'm not where I am financially because 5 years ago I made a huge misplay and trusted someone that is no longer a friend anymore, but I trusted someone that I knew probably wasn't going to change a whole lot of things, and it put me in a financial rut, and a lot of those expenses stayed with me and my partner, and things have gotten more and more expensive, so it's been difficult to really do anything outside of spending from time to time. Guilty spending, plenty of that. Mostly on food, funny enough, not video games. You would think video games. There was a point in time where that was the case, but I had a lot less responsibility. In current day, I buy a lot less games and a lot more food. Stress eating, so that's I'll just do it this time. Nah, that shit happens a lot. I mean, I feel like I've gotten better with it than I have in other points in time, where I weighed, a few years ago, weighed about 10 to 20 pounds more than I currently do. The 20 might be a bit much, but still. So there's a lot. if I actually scripted this as opposed to off the top, another excuse right there, I could probably come up with other things where I am not where I'd like to be, right? Networking attempts could be stronger. I don't drink water like I should up until, I guess, whenever this habit became more of a thing. Which I have my partner to thank for, because honestly, I probably wouldn't have done it myself. It's one of the better blessings I have, to be honest. Keeps me in good habits, right? You might have to pee like the racehorse, but still, it's good to have your water intake. So yeah, needless to say, it's too easy to make excuses for yourself, right? Maybe you have piles of clothes that sit around forever. You're too depressed, you'll do it tomorrow. And I don't make light of that, but I also poke fun at myself because I've made those same excuses as to why I don't want to do certain things. It's why I decided, instead of even changing today, that I'm just going to come in and record this video. Right? Link, are you joining us for this video? I think he is. There he is. I don't know if that's on camera. I actually can't see my view from here, so I don't know if he's actually on camera or not. He might be. Is he? I can't tell. I can't say it. No, Link is not on cam. Hold on. Link? Damn it. I don't think I'm going to pull this off. Yeah, no, that's above where I'm at. There's a cat in my lap, which may or may not be viewable. Can't tell. Anyway, we're going to keep rolling with this. So, but yeah, excuses for days, right? It's affected this channel pretty early on too. The health stuff, which I haven't gone into in a while, and I don't know that I necessarily plan to, or at least not right now. But that's kept me from doing things because I keep telling myself, eventually I'm just going to wake up and not deal with anything. And that'll give me the incentive to do all the things that I haven't done to this point. But I already have the equipment, so really what's holding me back? In other aspects of life, like going to concerts and stuff like that, I have not stopped doing that. I have not stopped having an occasional beer. So what's stopping me from just simply even just going outside to a different location to record these videos? Now, I can't honestly say what that is, but it's not a good enough excuse. And I have an arm set up for streaming, so I use the camera for these videos as well as streaming. I think the quality's great, but I think to incentivize myself to make more vlogging content that isn't just like here, go back to the webcam until I can afford a second camera. And it's lazy. You put the camera on, you take the camera off, but someone's video I saw a while back said, the setup you don't use, the setup that isn't easy enough to use, you just end up not using. And that's been kind of true. But right now, we have to work with what we got. So switching back to the webcam temporarily, or from time to time, maybe I will just actually, as I start doing more things, a pattern starts, and I actually don't mind taking the camera off the arm and then putting it back on and screwing it back in place and making sure it's at a decent enough angle to capture me and all that. I don't know how many excuses I just went over or how much of my life I necessarily want to put out there, but I'm right there with a lot of people where I might not necessarily be where I want to be. And there are you can play the pity party all day, but eventually it does come down on you, right? So I'll end this the same way I presented the question for the short for anyone that saw it. What excuses are you making for yourself? And or what are you doing to get around that, to change that? And to say the opposite of how we usually start these videos that I totally fucked up this time around, how do you, or plan to, find your ways to turn your downtime into uptime? Because that's what we do here. That's what we strive to do here. It's just sometimes a little more difficult than others. And I get it, but you got to give yourself that kick in the butt to get back on track and do what you need to do. Life's too short to do otherwise. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Later. Time to move, Link.